I told you we would do some numerical calculation problems for things that you couldn't solve analytically. You can solve this analytically, but it takes some calculus to do it. So we're going to do it numerically. So here's the problem. Imagine I have a ball and I launch it on flat ground. It has a velocity of v0. The question is, what angle theta do I get for the maximum range? There's a lot of ways to solve this. We're going to do it the fun way, though. And then, after that, what if I put it on a table and launch it? What's the maximum angle? That's a much more difficult problem. Now, there is this thing called the range equation, which I hate. I'm going to show you a version of that just because we're going to do it analytically. And then we'll do this problem, and then we'll do this problem, and we'll do it numerically. OK, so let's start off with that first one. So I have a ball. I launch at an angle. For projectile motion, I know that I have x and y motion. Right? I can separate them. So in the x direction, I have x final is x initial plus v0 cosine theta t. So this is going to be, here's my v0, here's my x component, vx0 is v0 cosine theta, where that's the angle theta. And I should have put that in a different color. It's blue. And then I have my vertical component is green, vy0 is v0 sine theta. That looks like a 0. I'm just excited. I want to get to the Python stuff. OK. So that's my x motion. In the y direction, I know that. And I also know, in this case, let's start at x equals 0. So that's 0. So x is v0 cosine theta t. The y motion, y0 plus v0 sine theta t minus 1/2 g t squared, because acceleration in the y direction is g. And in this case, I'm going to start at y equals 0. I'm going to end at y equals 0. So 0 equals v0 sine theta t minus 1/2 g t squared. Now, let's solve this for t, because remember, the thing that connects horizontal and vertical motion is the time. So if I move this to the other side, I have 1/2 g t squared v0 sine theta t. One of those t's cancel. I want to solve for t, so I get t is 2 v0 sine theta over g. Now I can plug that in up here and get my range. So if I do that, I get x equals v0 cosine theta times t, which is 2 v0 sine theta over g. And then I can write that as x is 2 v0 squared, right? I have a v0 and a v0, and then I have a sine theta cosine theta over g. So that's my range. Only on flat ground. So that's a dangerous equation, because a lot of people try to use that in a lot of different things. And there is a trig identity that you can combine sine and cosine, but we're not going to do that. And let's just think, right? Let's just think, can we use that and kind of figure out the maximum angle? So here I have x is 2 v0 squared cosine theta sine theta over g. So what value of theta would give me my maximum value? Okay, so remember, cosine theta goes, if, let's just think, if I have theta equals 0, this gives me 1. Theta equals pi over 2, this is 0. Sine of theta, theta equals 0 is 0. Theta equals pi over 2, 1. So the question is, what value of theta am I going to maximize this thing right here? And this is where you can see, if I have 45 degrees or pi over 4, then these two are going to give me the same value, and I get the maximum thing. Okay. But let's do this numerically, and that's what I really want to do. So remember, for a numerical calculation, we use the following. We're going to say A is the vector 0, negative 9.8, 0. V0 velocity is going to be v0 cosine theta vector, v0 sine theta, 0. R, the initial R, is 0, 0, 0. And then I'm going to break it into small time steps, and during that time step, update the velocity, v2, v1, plus a delta t. That's fine. And then I'm going to update the position. R2 is R1 plus v delta t. That's not fine, right? Because this velocity changes, so this is wrong. But if delta t is small enough, it's only kind of wrong. And then t2, t1 plus delta t, and then go back up here and do it all again. Let's do it. So we did this before, and we did it with vectors. We're going to do it again with vectors. Let's just start off with a graph. I'm going to make a graph of the trajectory, and then I can show you different ways to solve this problem. So G1 equals graph. Title equals range. Let's just call it range. X title is going to be equal to X. I'm going to leave off the units just for space. Y title equals Y. Width equals 400. Height equals 200. And then I'm going to make a graph. F1 equals G curve, color, dot blue. Okay. Now I need my initial conditions. So let's just start off with the simple stuff. I can say V0, the magnitude of the velocity is 3. I picked that. I don't know why. I need my initial position. R is vector 0, 0, 0. And now I need my acceleration, vector 0, negative 9.8, 0. Now I need my velocity, v. I'm just going to call it v. It's going to be vector. Oh, I need an angle theta. Let's say theta is going to be equal to 0. Okay, that's really boring. Let's say 0.1. Let's just say 1 times pi over 180, so 1 degree. Okay, if I shoot it horizontally at 0 degrees, it's not going to go anywhere, so that's no fun. Okay, so v equals vector v0 times cosine theta, v0 times sine theta, 0. So Python wants angles in radians. So when I wrote 1 degree, I multiplied by pi over 180 to get it into radians. Theta is my angle in radians. Okay, now I need t equals 0, dt equals, we can do 0.01. And let's just do let's start off with the time loop because it makes sense. While t is less than, it's going to be short, so let's put 0.5 seconds, but who knows what it will actually be. And I'm going to update my velocity, just like I said, v equals v plus a times dt. V is a vector. A is a vector. This is a vector equation. It looks like a scalar equation because Python doesn't care, but V is a vector class, A is a vector class. So that's important. Now I'm going to use that to update the position. R equals R plus V times dt. Now here's a question. Should you plot first or should you update time first? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to plot. F1.plot R.x, R.y. So I'm plotting the trajectory of the object. Now I'm going to update time. T equals t plus dt. Do you think this will work? I think it's going to work. I believe in myself. You should believe in yourself too. There we go. Okay, so I launched at a very low angle and there is no ground, right? There is no ground, so it will just do whatever it wants. So the range here is where it gets back to y equals 0, which is, initially. So let's just try playing this out. Let's try just changing this manually. Right, so here I have theta. Let's put theta at, we know the answer, at 30 degrees. Okay, so now let's do something else. I want to know the actual range without having to go up here and use my mouse. So I'm going to do something dangerous. I'm going to change this loop. I'm going to say while r.y is greater than or equal to 0. Right, so it starts at 0. So I want to get back to when it gets to 0. And then I'm going to print the range. Print, let's just say range equals x meters. And I'm going to run it. And there we go. Okay. It didn't. X is not defined. That's because this is r.x. Sorry. I made a mistake. It happens. Okay, so I have a range of 0.779. Now let's increase to 45. We know the answer, right? We already know the answer to 45, and then run it. And I get 0.912. Now let's increase to, what was it, 30, let's do 60. Now this manually changing the code may seem barbaric to you. Now I'll get back to 0.79. But the code is your tool, right? We do things inefficiently. It's better to do it inefficiently in a way that you understand, instead of using something that you don't understand, and this might as well be a magic spell. Okay. But here we have seen that the range, the maximum range, is at 45 degrees, which is what we already knew. Okay. Now, I do want to show you the other way to do this. And there's a lot of ways to do this. But let's just do the following. Let's make a loop of a loop. Let's change the angle theta and plot the range. Okay. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to plot. The x title is going to be theta, and I'm going to put it in degrees. And the y title is going to be the range. So let's plot range as a function of theta. So down here, I'm going to say while theta is less than, I could go up to pi over 2. I think we can do that. So while it's less than pi over 2, do the following. Now, so every time I change my angle, I need to reset a couple things. I need to reset my position, r equals vector 0, 0, 0. T equals 0. And then my velocity, I need to change too. Let's just copy this. I don't want to type all that. Typing's for silly people. I'm not a silly person. I'm a serious person. Okay. So now up here, I'm going to do, in my loop of thetas, I'm going to do this same range calculation. And when I'm done, I'm not going to plot. I'm just going to have my x value. So what I'm going to instead do once I'm done, I know my final x value is my range. Now I'm going to plot. So f1.plot, I'm going to plot theta times 180 over pi. I want to convert it to degrees. And then r.x. That's my range. Now, very important, what I need to do is to increase my value of theta. So let's come up here and add d theta is, let's say it's 0.1. I don't know if that's too big or too small. I don't know. Let's just increase theta equals theta plus d theta. So what I'm doing is I'm doing my same problem. I'm changing the angle and I'm redoing the problem. Okay. Now you do have to be very careful here. I have a double loop, right? Everything indented is part of the loop, so I have an indented. Okay. So let's just see if this runs. I haven't even saved it. I should probably save it. I will give you the code. Don't worry about that. Let's run it. And there you go. Okay. Did that work? No. It did not work because this has the range decrease is greatest. Oh, it's 60. That's fine. I want to start my angle at 0. There we go. And then you see right here, as the angle increases, the range increases. And oh my gosh, look at this. It's at 44, whatever. Now, it's a little blocky because my d theta is too big. We can make that less blocky. Ooh, look at that. So this jagged thing is actually really interesting. Where I stop my thing, where I stop my motion, depending on the angle, it can shift a little bit. So that's what that happens right there. We can fix that by making my dt even smaller. But you got to be careful. Small theta, d theta, small dt, I'm doing more and more loops, right? I've just increased my number of loops by a factor of 100. But it's Python, it doesn't really matter, so there we go. We won. Okay, now let's go and do the launch off of a table, right? So if I launch it off of a table, what happens? And how do I fix that? So over here, we can just change you could do the same thing without doing a loop in a loop. But what I'm going to do is just say, let's say h equals 1.1. Right, that was the initial starting location. So up here, my initial position is going to be, ooh, I got to put it up here, I guess. And let's call this h. And then over here, when I do my loop, I want to start this back at h, right? Okay, so can I still do while r.y is greater than or equal to 0? Yeah, I can, right? I can do that still because it starts greater than 0. So that's all I had to do. That's all I had to do in the code was to set my initial height to h. And again, you could do this manually, and that would be pretty cool. I've already got the code for a loop in a loop, so I'm just going to run it. And there we go. So this is not trajectory. This is range, right? So what angle gives me the maximum range if I launch off a table? Well, you can see over here, it's 29.1-ish degrees. Why? Well, you want to maximize the time in the air, and so you can do that by increasing your y velocity, but I want to increase my velocity in the x direction, so there's this balance between those. I'm already starting higher up, so I don't need to throw it as high to keep as much time. I'm already getting extra time by starting on a table, so my maximum launch angle would be less than 45 degrees. And of course, it depends on how high your table is and your launch velocity, but there you go. So this is a numerical problem that would be very difficult to solve analytically. You'd have to use calculus. And even then, the derivatives get a little meh, but okay, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll give you the code down below. Talk to you later. Bye.